Darcy, and this is What's Happening. We're talking Revelry today with Amy Neal from the Cultural Center of Cape Cod, a brand new event that really is going to showcase the artist's work. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you.
So, Revelry.
Yeah.
Really cool concept.
Yes.
Explain it a little bit of what's going to happen with this particular event.
We see Revelry as an art marathon weekend. We wanted to kind of just have this explosion of interactive with artists and the public and people asking questions and watching demos, and just this balance of it coming from all different directions all at the same time.
And this is a day-long event, a weekend-long event?
Yes, it's Saturday, November 5th, all day, and Sunday, November 6th, all day, and it ends basically with an auction. The foundation of the weekend begins with 15 artists.
Okay.
We have 15 amazing Cape Cod artists, and they will be painting in our Great Hall in our main building. They are all painting their own interpretation of a poem. The poem is The Sea by Pablo Neruda.
Ooh.
They will be talking with the public. People can come in, ask questions, they can watch whatever unfolds. All the work will be for sale during the weekend. It's a silent auction. If there is a painter who you love, all of the painters have set their buy it now price. So you can go in at any time during the weekend and just say, yes, I know I want to buy it. You can buy it on the spot. Otherwise, there's a silent auction, and the weekend ends on Sunday at 6 p.m. with the reveal of the auction and an after party. And the public is totally welcome to join us for that as well. So.
Wow, so, when you think about artists and creating, both of you and I were just discussing this, is that we're artists and we tend to be very private in our art.
Yeah.
How did this concept really come about?
The concept was very much inspired by our new building. We have an upper level in our new education wing, and we have 5 resident artists. And it's an open door policy. The public is always welcome to go up and wander through our whole building. And every day our artists are in there working, and they've talked so much about how the dynamic changes and there's a shift when they're in their own momentum of working, and then suddenly you're making small talk with a stranger and they're asking you questions, and how that benefited them in a way that they weren't expecting. And we really thought that that was a really interesting, different dynamic of looking at art, because you would really think it's just the person asking the questions, but the artists themselves were getting something new out of it. So we wanted a weekend like that, where it was just open doors for people to come in and ask questions. And there's so many different techniques of the artists, the 15 that we have, that they all use something different.
Yeah.
And if you're ever curious about, how does encaustic work, we have an encaustic artist who will be there. And
so it's all different mediums,
all different mediums. It's mostly painting, but they do lots of mixed media work.
Sure.
And beyond the Great Hall, we have the Makers, and the Makers is where we really wanted to bring it to another level with more than just your typical festival that you see. So with the Makers, they will be in our galleries and also in our new wing, and these are makers that have equipment, and they get messy and they make noise. So that is just going to be a whole other level of demoing and discussing. They will all be selling their work, and all at once, all at the same time. So,
wow, it sounds like a really exciting weekend.
Yeah, we're excited,
The poem, which is a beautiful poem.
It
I know the poem well. Yeah. Why? And where'd that come from?
Well,
you just think about it, because now you have to the artists themselves must have started to already think of this, obviously,
yes,
and what their concept for their piece of art is going to be. And you think about makers, and then you think about the actual, watercolor or encaustic or whatever that might be. There's a lot of nuances in that poem.
Yeah, we wanted to try to choose a poem that was a bit all-encompassing that all different mediums, all different styles could relate to. So we wanted the figure artist and the landscape and, you know, the still life person to be able to find a piece within that poem that spoke to them where they could, you know, create from that. So, and it's Cape Cod, so we chose the sea. And Lauren, our executive director, our associate director, she's a poet and a writer, and she knows all the best. And she introduced me to Pablo Narada, and he's just amazing and beautiful. And we both just knew that it had to be him. And this poem, The Sea, is just—it's stunning, and I can't wait to see interpretations.
Oh,
from
I
it,
know.
so,
I mean, that's one of the things when you first said the poem. I was like, wow, that's going to be just amazing. The type of work. So November 5th and 6th. So that's like a really nice respite from elections.
Yeah, yep. Yes.
All day long.
All day. Saturday we're open from 10 to 5 and Sunday from noon to 5. And then the auction is at 6 p.m. And
And the public's allowed to interrupt? Because that's what I would think, is that, boy, you're interrupting the artist. You don't really want to do that. But this actual event is designed to interrupt.
It is. It's all about demoing and questions and just curiosity, really. Right. So yeah, they all know that this is the deal, and get ready to answer some questions.
What do you hope that this particular event might spawn in the future?
Well, for us, we're already planning next year because our building is growing. Our pottery studio and our recording studio is about to open in January, so we already know that we will have the upper and lower level of our building happening for this next year. But I personally think if one person can be inspired and learn something, you know, we have the wood turners coming in as some of our makers. Ooh. And I've never seen a lathe in my life, and
that's cool.
Until just a couple months ago, and they were gracious enough to teach me. And I love working with my hands. I love trying different kinds of art, and this was a whole other level, and I loved learning about it. And there's just so many different directions that art can go in, and so many different ways to be creative that I just hope people come in and say, yes, I would love to try that, and I have a new hobby or a new passion.
This is what a great opportunity for the public to actually, one, see the artist at work, and how blessed we are on Cape Cod with the number of artists. The talent on Cape Cod is just unbelievable in the art and the creative economy. Mm-hmm. But two, if they've ever had an interest in any of those forms, that they can say, hey, how do you do that?
Exactly.
Or how'd you get started?
Right.
Or how do you achieve that look?
Right. Exactly. Yes.
So November 5th and 6th.
And 6th, yeah.
10 to 5 both days. 6:30 for the 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock for the auction.
6 o'clock
and
for
the
the
wrap
auction
party.
on Sunday and the wrap party.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to. I'm kind of thinking I might need to go there because I've been looking at some maker stuff. Being part of the makers.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to see somebody in action doing it. You know, like how messy is it?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
That's always a question with art. It's how messy is it, and how much room do I need to set aside in my house for it?
Yep.
So, Cape Cod Cultural Center over on the corner of Bass River and South Yarmouth. 10 to 5, November 5th and 6th. Wrap party at 6 o'clock on Sunday.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add?
Let's tell them some of the artists. Some of the artists are Craig Caldwell, John Cira, Betsy Payne, Cook, Joe Diggs, Sarah Deneen, Abby Fay, Kenneth Hockey, Sarah Hall, Mary Moken. Oh, I love her stuff.
Yes, me
too. Richard Neal, Suzanne Packer. Oh, I know Suzanne too. Jackie Reeves, Chris Reverdy, Odin Smith.
Odin,
and James
and
Wolfe.
Jamie Wolfe, yes.
Wow.
Yes, so those are our 15 core artists in the Great Hall, and then beyond that, the makers are wood turners. We have a wood sculptor who works in copper and driftwood.
Oh, neat.
We have a wood carver. Okay. We have a paper artist, a metalsmith. We have a weaver working on a loom, a glass blower, a mural artist, did I say metalsmith? metalsmith, and a chocolatier. So we're
okay,
topping it all off with chocolate. I know. Yes.
Buy it now.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
Just because everybody loves chocolate, and it's just, yeah.
But, you know, some people don't necessarily equate chocolate with art.
No, and it's a culinary art. So with our culinary kitchen, yeah, it absolutely is an art in itself, and it's beautiful and delicious all at the same time. So
gonna be a great weekend.
Yeah.
November 5th and 6th at the Cape Cod Cultural Center, right in South Yarmouth, 10 to 5. 6 o'clock is the wrap party on Sunday. Amy, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm Paula Hersey, and this is What's Happening.